First up, you've got this young guy, Joseph, and he is, without a doubt, his dad Jacob's favorite son. To show just how special Joseph is, Jacob gives him this incredible, multicolored coat. I mean, this thing would have stood out, and basically put a giant target on his back. But it wasn't just the coat that was causing problems. Joseph starts having these intense, symbolic dreams. We're talking dreams from God. And in these dreams, he sees his entire family, his brothers, even his parents, bowing down to him. And, being a teenager, he doesn't exactly keep this to himself. He tells them everything. You can just imagine how that went over. The fancy coat was bad enough, but now these dreams of being the big boss, for his brothers, that was the last straw. That little bit of jealousy they had just started to boil over, and it twisted into a really, really ugly kind of hatred. And all that simmering hatred is about to just explode. This is the moment where Joseph's world isn't just turned upside down, it's completely shattered into a million pieces. And his life just collapses, and it happens fast. Look at this free fall. 1 minute he's the favored son, safe at home. The next, he's ambushed by his own brothers. They actually talk about killing him, but end up throwing him in a pit and then selling him for 20 pieces of silver. Just like that, his coat is gone, his family is gone, his freedom is gone, and he's being dragged off to Egypt as a slave. So, this kicks off a whole new chapter. Joseph is now a slave in the house of a guy named Potiphar, who's a big deal in Egypt. He's totally alone, he has nothing, and this is where his true character really gets put to the ultimate test. But here's the thing. Instead of just giving up, Joseph pours everything he has into his work. He's so trustworthy and so good at what he does that it seems like everything he's put in charge of just flourishes. It doesn't take long for his master to notice and put him in charge of his entire household. And this is really the core of it, right? Even when he's a slave in a foreign land, the story makes it clear that he isn't truly alone. There's a bigger presence, a guiding hand, that's helping him succeed against all odds. But just when things are looking up, his integrity is tested again, big time. Potiphar's wife wants to have an affair with him. He completely refuses, and she gets so angry that she makes up a story accusing him of attacking her. I mean, come on, it's her word against a foreign slave's. Who do you think they're going to believe? He's thrown straight into prison.
And get this, even in the absolute pits of a royal prison, that special gift he has, it's still there. He ends up interpreting the dreams for 2 of Pharaoh's officials, the cupbearer and the baker, and his interpretations are spot on. One gets his job back, the other, well, not so lucky. Joseph's only ask is, hey, when you get out, remember me. But he doesn't. He forgets all about Joseph, who's left to rot in that jail for 2 more long years.
And then finally, his big break comes. Pharaoh himself is having these wild, terrifying dreams, and none of his advisors can figure them out. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembers the Hebrew guy in prison. So Joseph is yanked out of the dungeon, cleaned up, and brought before the most powerful man in the world. And when Pharaoh asks if he can interpret the dreams, look at his response. Total humility. He says, "It's not me, but God will give you the answer." And the result is just mind-blowing. Check out this reversal. Joseph doesn't just interpret the dreams, which predict a huge famine. He lays out a genius plan to save the entire country. Pharaoh is so blown away that he promotes him on the spot. In a single day, Joseph goes from a forgotten prisoner in chains to the prime minister, the second most powerful person in all of Egypt. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's fast forward a few years. The famine is just as bad as Joseph predicted, and it's hitting his homeland hard. So his brothers, running out of food, have to travel all the way to Egypt to buy grain. And they have no idea, absolutely no idea, that the powerful Egyptian governor they have to beg for help is the very same brother they sold into slavery all those years ago. I mean, can you even wrap your head around that moment? The very men who ruined your life are now literally bowing at your feet, their lives completely in your hands. Joseph holds all the cards. So what's it going to be? Payback time? Or is there another way? So Joseph plays it cool. He doesn't show his hand right away. Instead, he puts them through a series of tests. He wants to see, are they still the same cruel, selfish guys who threw him in a pit? Or have the years changed them? Have they actually learned anything? And finally, after he sees them show real remorse, after he sees them willing to sacrifice for each other, he just can't take it anymore. The emotion is too much. He orders everyone else out of the room, and through his tears, he finally tells them who he is. Imagine the absolute shock and terror on their faces.
But what he says next is not what they're expecting. It's not anger. It's not, "I told you so." It's something else entirely. It's a statement that reveals the incredible, hidden meaning behind all those years of pain and suffering.
And this line, this is the heart of the entire story. It's this incredible perspective. Joseph looks at his brothers and says, yeah, what you meant for evil, God used for good. He sees that their terrible act was somehow woven into a much larger plan to save not just a nation, but to save their own family.
So what can we pull from all this? I mean, the lessons here are just as real for us today. It's about finding purpose in your pain. It's about the incredible power of choosing forgiveness instead of letting bitterness eat you alive. It's about how critical it is to hold on to your integrity no matter what. And maybe most of all, it's about trusting that there might be a bigger picture, even when you're in the dark and can't see it at all.
And so the story comes full circle. Joseph brings his whole family, his father Jacob included, down to Egypt where he can protect and provide for them. The family that was ripped apart by jealousy is finally brought back together, healed by forgiveness. Which brings us right back to that question from the beginning. Joseph's life just forces us to ask it about our own. What if the pit you feel like you're in right now isn't the end of your story? What if it's just part of the journey to the pinnacle? What if your greatest hardships are actually preparing you for your greatest purpose? Definitely something to think about.